Hey, this is LeRoy Downs, the Jazz Cat curator of the Just Jazz series. But today we're here to talk with somebody very special who's going to be performing at the Angel City Jazz Festival. My friend and yours, Brother Bennie Maupin. Hey, man, how are you?
Just fine, LeRoy. Thank
Man,
you.
so many years, you put so many beautiful sounds on the planet. And for this year at Angel City Jazz, you're going to get together and do a performance in honor of someone that's very special. So why don't you tell me about
Well, this year, on October 9th, it's the 100th birthday for the late Dr. Yusef Lateef,
that?
who is definitely, one of my mentors from the very beginning, of my studying and listening and growing up in Detroit. He was the guy for me because he was the one who was doing everything. He was creating all kinds of interesting things along with you know incorporating things from other cultures. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it just fascinated me from the very beginning right up to the end of his life.
Yusef seems to be one of those guys that he pays attention to a lot of things that people are not paying attention to in the world. His vision, he'll slow down in order to see, in order to touch, in order to feel and listen to his environment, really, before you can ask him a question, before he speaks back or before he plays. You can tell that there's a lot more thought than most humans before he actually approaches the sound.
Yes, incredible sensitivity. You know, yeah, that's that's what really got me.
Mm,
As a young musician, because you're torn between trying to do things in a technical way and make it right. But there's more to music than making it right. It's about how much you can express.
yeah.
And really captured me from the beginning with Yusef, the depth of expression.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well, humanity is big with Yusef, and I know being in Detroit at that time had to be very special for
it
him to be
was.
one of
I
those
mean,
guys.
now in retrospect, I realized, it was a wonderful time to be there because I was able to really develop a key sense of how to listen
Mm,
because it was about listening, but it was a lot to listen to.
yeah,
You know, Yusef's music, the music of musicians who came to Detroit because everybody came. Max Roach and Clifford Brown and Sonny Rollins and Earl Bostic, just everybody. Count Basie, Ella Fitzgerald and Lester Young and Jazz at the Philharmonic. All those things came in and out of Detroit, and I got to observe a lot
yeah,
and learn a lot, just by listening and just through observation, and really having an opportunity and many times to connect directly with some of the people that I, really admired. I got to meet them early in my life. They gave me good information about lots of things, music, uh, the importance of keeping yourself spiritually awake. Yusef always represented something from the spiritual side, from my observation. Always just so warm, caring, and there with you. I mean, when you had his attention, you had his attention all the way. That's just how he was, and
yeah.
he shared always, shared all the time. So it's an honor to be able to do this and to acknowledge him because a lot of people missed it. A lot of people missed that they didn't really get to listen to his music. So myself and his partner for several decades, Adam Rudolph, percussionist and composer, he created some what I call atmospheres
Mm.
in his home studio, and he sent them to me, and I listened to them, and we were able to go into the Red Door Studios, and I did some work with them as they were. I didn't try to mimic anything that was there. I just played whatever was happening with me at that moment, based on what I was listening to. So I haven't even heard it. So I don't know what happened there. But I wasn't supposed to know, because that's part of being able to express that part of myself that comes through him. Because everybody comes from somewhere. I mean, you got to have a mentor. I'm fortunate to have had multiple mentors.
Mm.
Yusef was like number one man, because he was in my circle. I could go and I could see him. When you're modeling something, you have to be able to really observe it. Not only the physical aspects of it, but the energetic aspects of it. What does it do? How does it make you feel? You know, Whenever I heard him, it always made me feel so good.
Mm. Mm.
I mean, just good. The warmth of his tone, and when I got to hear his speaking voice, then I got to recognize that.
Yeah.
So many great, moments that we spent. But I want to share one with you that was, a real highlight for me. Uh, During the 70s, Yusef stopped appearing in the festivals. He limited his playing in nightclubs or any place where there was alcohol. Well, the emphasis was on alcohol and cigarettes. He just started to move further and further from playing in those kind of venues. And one of the last times he came to Los Angeles, he played at the Lighthouse
Mm.
out at Hermosa Beach. And so I got to go and spend time with him there, you know. And when his date came, because he would stay for 2 weeks, and his day off was Monday. So on Monday, I drove down from Altadena down to Hermosa Beach, and I picked he and his wife up, and I brought them over to my house. And my wife, she fixed enchiladas. I knew her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had the most wonderful time. It was the only time we got together like that, with our wives, and we were able to talk to each other, and he just shared so much with me, in terms of encouragement, and the significance of realizing that longevity plays its part, but to use the time that you have, to use it wisely.
Mm.
So, he never failed to direct me and to encourage me, just embrace me with his heart. But this the sound of his instruments, so unique,
Mm.
all perfect.
Wise man, full of wisdom, full of history, and full of humanity.
Yeah.
And in order to be able to be that special person to pass that on to others that he sees has the same potential of sharing with the world is
Well, I just
special.
I just pursued it. I pursued it. I mean, right until the time Yusef went back to study at a university, Wayne State University, when he was a mature person. I mean, he already had family. He had gigs that he was playing around. He was doing a lot of things. I didn't discover what he was doing until kind of later. Some of the older guys started to talk to me about what he was doing, and he would play at night and then go work at Chrysler's in the factory during the daytime.
Mm.
He said sometimes he would be so tired by the time he got to the gig, it would be amazing that he could even do it, but he did it because he took care of his family in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he showed through his life condition what you have to do. But you never know what's going on with a person until you find out from close people who associate with them. People shared with me what he was going through. It was more than the music. He was living his life for his family, making sure that everything was right. And going back to school late in life, went to Wayne State University, was heavily criticized by a lot of guys that thought, why would he go back to school? What is he going to school for? He already knows everything. But it wasn't that way with him. He wanted to go deeper as he could. So he did that. Then he finally graduated from there. And he went to the Manhattan School of Music and got his master's and eventually got his doctorate. But all during that time, I'm observing how he's making his moves and doing his thing, and using the time. I mean, wow. Hey, we're celebrating a guy who is just phenomenal. So this is especially significant for me, because I did get to connect with him. We actually did a recording. It's called In the Garden. And we recorded it in Venice, California. There was a venue there that we used for the organic orchestra. Did you ever come to hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we captured it when Yusef came to play with us. So we have it like a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday. Yeah, Adam has it on the CD.
Yeah.
So I don't have copies to give you, but we'll get together somehow so you can make yourself a copy of it.
Oh, no doubt. And play it for the world. For
in
sure.
the garden.
Yeah.
Yusef is singing, playing, talking, I mean, to be in there with him. And that was the only time that I got to actually be in a situation where we could have that kind of an exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really very, very special right here in LA. So
very special human being celebrating a centennial, 100 years he would have been on the planet, but of course his energy and his spirit still lives. If you'd like to check out the performance, that'll be October 9th. You can go to angelcityjazz.com. It's a virtual thing. We're in 2020 pandemic, so we're doing music a different way. But we still get a chance to share the spirit and listen to, our wise ones, Mr. Bennie Maupin, tell us all about the wonderful Yusef Lateef. We'll see you on October 9th at Angel City Jazz. Thank you, Bennie.
You're welcome, man. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.